Hi everyone. So far, we've explored the immune response which has been initiated following exposure to an antigen, either as a result of infection or vaccination. In this video, we'll compare this active immunity to passive immunity. In active immunity, B cells produce specific antibodies in response to an antigen. We've seen that this antigen may be encountered by natural means due to infection by a pathogen or introduced artificially by vaccination. We've also seen that following exposure to an antigen, there are several steps involved before antibodies are produced, so active immunity takes some time to become established. However, a primary immune response also results in memory cell formation, and these memory cells provide long-term immunity. As in the event of future infections, a secondary immune response can be initiated. Passive immunity works a little differently. In passive immunity, antibodies are introduced from an external source. There's no antigen or primary immune response. This can also be achieved by natural or artificial means. As antibodies are proteins circulating within the blood plasma, maternal antibodies are able to cross the placenta to the fetus. This provides the baby with some protection against infectious disease early in life until active immunity can be established. This protection by maternal antibodies can further be extended by breastfeeding, as maternal antibodies are also passed on in the breast milk. Passive immunity can otherwise be provided by artificial means. In this case, antibodies are injected into a patient. This may be used to provide immediate protection to potential infections such as rabies or tetanus, and this is also how antivenoms and antitoxins work following, for example, a snake bite. The venom contains an antigen, so the antivenom injected will contain the complementary antibody. With passive immunity, no primary response is required before a high antibody concentration is reached, so the protection it provides is almost immediate. However, no memory cells are formed, and so antibodies are not replaced as they're broken down, meaning the protection it provides is only short-lived. In comparing active and passive immunity, we can consider the source of the antibody, with antibodies resulting from an immune response in active immunity and being introduced from an external source with passive immunity. We can also acknowledge that antigen presentation is required in active, but not in passive, and that both types can be brought about by both natural and artificial means. Active immunity by natural infection, or artificially by vaccination, with passive immunity being provided naturally by maternal antibodies or by means of artificial injection. With active immunity, the protection takes some time to build, whereas passive immunity provides immediate protection. In active immunity, memory cells are formed, leading to long-term immunity, but this is not the case with passive immunity, with the protection only lasting as long as the antibodies remain. In our next video, we'll look at the specific example of HIV and how HIV infection can lead to AIDS.